and welcome to the Chatbox. Now, this is a weekly show where we will be talking everything to do with laughter, controversy, and a lot of debate. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, and definitely it is something that you should not miss. I am not alone on this journey. Of course, I am always joined by the ever so friendly, vivacious, and a funny Rugare with a whole lot of opinion. How are you doing, Rugare?
You compliment me so well.
No, yes, definitely. Be ready. Rugare is here. But we are not walking alone as well. Of course, we walk in wisdom, in faith, and with lots of reverence. And of course, that comes through with Apostle Dr. Joe Daniels. He's joining us today to make sure we are walking the right path. How are you doing, Apostle?
I'm fine, Kim. How are you doing?
I'm great.
I want to report things that wrong.
Valentine. The discussion for today is simple. What is Valentine? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it something that you believe or we can all celebrate? So I just want to get straight into it.
Yeah.
Apostle,
Yeah.
is Valentine worthy of celebrating for a Christian?
There's no problem with it because, anything good is worth celebrating, particularly if it's about love. The Bible says God is love. However, there's a historic background on the issue of Valentine. People may come up with funny stories, but basically it was a day that came up as a result of what happened in the past. Kune chimwari chaicelebratewa chinonzi Lupercus during the Roman era. And they would do funny rituals, different rituals. One of them which included, let me just put in quotes, prostitution.
Okay.
They would put like names in a basket and get men to pick up the names. Any lady.
For real?
Yeah. Any lady they pick, then they sleep with her. But
Not
in
marry
public,
her.
not married.
In public?
Yeah, as a way of adoring and worshipping this
Wow.
god of fertility. So later on, there's a priest that opposed this and was trying to change it, and he was murdered. He was killed. He died as a martyr, and then he was called Valentine, or killed in Valentine rather. And so that's how the name Valentine came. And then eventually, when the Pope or the leaders of the Roman Catholic came through, they said, let's twist the holiday into something meaningful and remember Valentine. Instead of doing rituals, let's celebrate love.
Let's celebrate
Yeah.
love. So I'm going to come back to you again
Yeah.
as a man. Do you believe men should celebrate Valentine's, considering the fact that the holiday itself
Yeah.
is about men
Yeah.
giving women
Yeah.
gifts?
Hapana kana chakamboipa Kim. From a biblical perspective, husband love your wife. So the Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave. So giving is a language of love. It's not the only way of expression of love, but it's one way. So there's no problem. Though we can't limit that to just one day. It has to be an everyday thing. Yeah.
It has to be an everyday thing.
Everyday thing.
Yeah.
Rugari,
Yes.
there's a social media comment that said, if you have to wait for Valentine's to be spoiled,
Yes.
then you're in the wrong relationship. Run. What do you think about that one?
Ooh.
Hansi, kana kongona unti Valentine yauya. At least war Valentine.
At least walk.
Yeah.
But then it depends on whether the partner that you're with believes in Valentine's, because there's some people who don't believe in it. So he feels like, no, but if I love you every other day, why am I having to wait for a holiday that has been dictated to me by a person I don't even know? And then now I must do that.
But let's talk about birthdays.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some who are not Christians will say Christmas.
Yes.
You know, because it's a
Yeah.
Christian holiday. Not everyone is a
In
Christian.
quotes, yes.
But people have dictated these days and said that, there's Women's Day and there's, Men's Day, Father's Day. All these days have been dictated by someone. So why not celebrate them?
My birthday, Kim, is very different. Because if we look at the perspective of any mother who goes through birth, that is a process where maybe you might lose your life. Right. So that's what we're celebrating when you're celebrating a birthday. We say, Isha, you know what? I could have not been here, but I'm here. So that's that celebration of my mother being able to birth me. So I don't think that can be compared to something that men, some other century that we don't even know about, decided, no, this is what we must do. So look, honestly, it's up to your partner whether to celebrate it or not. And if your partner decides not to, don't hate on them. Just
I
honor
don't know,
that.
Rugari. I'm the kind of person, I love.
Yes.
So when
You can
we get a
love
chance to
love.
love on a love day, I actually expect, you know,
The gift.
yeah, my man should be the type that will say, expect me on Valentine's to come to love you more.
With the Range Rover, with the bow.
Well, I think
The
kana
pressure,
capacity yake ichisvika ikoko.
Eh,
Kana
guys,
capacity. Kasi kana ichisviko, you know, kwekutanga kunotangira munhu wese, it's still fine. But I'm going to ask Apostle because I like the way he's laughing. He's too.
Yeah.
Do you think men should celebrate love? Like, we're seeing a lot of social media where now men are being celebrated by their wives on birthdays, you know, and some men don't, like what Tukari is saying, they don't believe in Valentine's birthdays and all these things. But now women are now saying, it's okay. Inina ungana ndichida ndokumbura kucelebrate over wenza mkomena uya webosho and but men are embarrassing us women.
Yes.
What do we do about that?
Yeah, I think tempo ye love mumba is not entirely up to one person. It's a language between two people.
Okay.
So how you decide to celebrate, it's up to you. Kuna vanhu vasikatombo believe you celebrate on my birthdays.
True.
And they're okay with that for years and for ages. And however, you can uchizvifarira enjoy any marriage setup where probably the other partner doesn't understand because of their background, or you know, because with some people isinyaya kuti avadi itonyaya kutoti avazivi. You see that? So you compliment one another, you enlighten one another. Mumwe anotozvadjust akatoti bo.
Vamwe varume vanobva vati sandiudzira kuti ndokuda sei. Yet Valentine's idei rekuti unditaridze kuti unondida sei. Iwo hausi kuda unditaridzawo kuti unondida sei. Of course, some women are, like I'm a flowers girl. You don't even have to do fancy things. Kudo maruva. Umangodzi oh baby oh happy Valentine's.
Ndozvizvo ngakatsvaga muchiri mukomana nemusikana.
Those are the conversations you should be having while you're dating.
Kuzotanga manje kutsvaga zvinhu zvakadaro when in marriage sometimes it's difficult.
It's difficult.
So choose right the first time. Check out wave ne vibe remuniro. Does it flow in that direction?
At what point does one check between dating and the marriage? Where do you think we tip it? No, ndikufamba naye yes, but this may be Valentine's anaunditira nchada. Kana
But
birthday anaunditira nchada.
But 14 February atangika marorana.
Yes.
Did you check his reaction when it came? Muchiri mukomana nemusikana.
Nemusikana.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Yeah.
Wise words.
Wise words, definitely. So there you have it. Don't check Valentine's when you are married. Check it while you're still dating. But these days, you never know. The relationships are moving that fast that maybe they haven't had a chance to have Valentine's. We'll be talking about this controversy, discussions, and laughter in the next segment. For now, bye-bye. Welcome back to the Chatbox, where we talk everything in the social sphere. Whether it's up for debate or it's up for a challenge of your mindset, we are doing it right here. And of course, I've got the ever so lovely Rugare with me, along with Apostle Dr. Joe Daniels. Hi, guys.
Good.
Are we ready to dig into it?
Let's go deeper.
Let's go deeper before you go higher.
So I ended off the last segment with you, Apostle, but I want to start again with you, simply because I need a man's perspective on this one. Now, Valentine's Day is proving to be a challenge, right? But now we talk about the traditional and societal norms in love, relationship. How does one tie it all in so it actually makes sense to your partner? No, I need this. It's something I need. Please love
From
me.
a lady perspective.
From a lady perspective. And then from a man's perspective, to say, baby, is and it is, and this quantity, without hurting your loved one.
Yeah, I think it's very easy. Everything begins by courtship.
Yes.
You should check your communication level per courtship. That will set the tempo in the marriage. There are some things that are very difficult to bring in when you get married. So when you're in the courtship stage, which is what you call dating. So if you don't work on your communication skills, if you don't find out ano interpreter what you say how, because some men feel intimidated when you tell them certain things. They feel like wakum control and stuff like that. But however, if you're a queen, you should know how to talk to your king.
Yay!
Yes.
Look, I love the way you react.
Hey!
You know,
Crown on my head.
no, every person will listen to a wise suggestion. So sometimes you need to wisely look for a way to talk to your man, your king, rather. You don't just go and say it blunt, because good intentions can be bad, can be rated as bad because of the problem of execution.
Ooh, problem of execution.
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen a lot of those, Regari.
Yes,
Hey,
we have.
a problem with execution. Now, I've seen, for me, I told you, I'm a lover of love, and I've seen women go out of their way, and they've gone to celebrate who they think, this person, I just want to hear your perspective. So while we are acknowledging that Valentine's is important, showing affection and love and all that, the criticism has arisen in terms of it being over commercialized.
Yes.
What do you think?
I do agree that it is over commercialized. Because you know that the moment you hit the 25th of January, you walk inside CBD or anywhere else, right? From the 25th to the 1st, all you see is red and white. And now already you're being subconsciously pushed to start thinking, oh, Valentine's. And then even in the supermarkets, they're starting to place the chocolates in strategic places, the bubbles, the bubbly. It's usually in a certain area of the store. It's now front and center, so that, you kind of know, okay, fine, I've got to be able to buy this. And then it's the subliminal marketing. It's already there, which is why I feel it is commercialized.
But here's another take. Valentine's, there's still divorcees, there's still single people, there's still people that are really struggling in their marriage. Do you feel like Valentine's creates some kind of stigma,
Oh, yes, it does. Especially for the singletons. For the singletons, there's a bit of pressure.
Okay.
Because now imagine we're at work, right? I'm in a happy relationship, and then my man brings my flowers, my gifts, my chi. I know I'll deliver at work. And you're single. In the permanent brochure. And you're in the office and you're looking at me like, and then there's a woman who recently lost her husband. And now she's triggered, maybe because he used to spoil her and stuff. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be loved loudly and proudly. But for those that are on the sort of back burner of the commercialization of
Valentine's is coming.
Yes.
Where's your boyfriend?
Exactly. So, yes, there is that sort of stigma that's there if you're not getting anything.
If you're not getting anything. So, before we close this segment, Apostle, what personal significance does Valentine's hold for individuals, just in celebrating them? Like, if we do celebrate it, what's the big deal? If we don't celebrate it, what's the big deal?
Yeah, Valentine yakatoshata pampacho because irugadzira necessary pressure. People are blowing money for rent only to appease.
Yeah.
And also, to a certain degree, I actually believe it will contribute to my divorce. Because women are going to interpret that. Kuti, they're going to use that as yardstick of love. Auntie de boys are Valentine's.
And pakati pemwedzi, by the way.
Exactly. Yet your relationship, your marriage isn't evolved to that level of delivering of gifts. It's an expense. It's an expense, an unnecessary expense. So what I want to say is, on Valentine, you can celebrate it in your own way.
Yes.
Or you cannot even consider the day, because the Bible says to one, they esteem one day above the other.
Yeah.
To another, all days are alike. There is a way this man loves you that's unique. Don't put a yardstick in the name of Auntie Day, because like I told you, I really believe kuchaita my disappointments. Valentine's.
But of course.
There's going to be conflicts, because I'm going to measure that that gift. I'm going to use that gift to measure it.
But is that not a situation where we're looking at expectations? How do we then say manage our expectations not only on Valentine's but every other day in our everyday relationships?
Toma manager in pressure in social media. You with someone you know, there will come a time. I always tell people, you get a problem, you look at what's happening around you.
Yeah.
These people, they are showing you the good part of their marriage on social media. But avakura kids, the days that they went through without a Valentine. Some of these men is their way of appreciating vakadzi vavo nekushingirira panguva yenhamo nekutsutsumwa nekunetseka panguva chekwa chikafu. Maybe the woman was the one providing at that time, and the man feels indebted. I know this has been a good woman.
Can I throw this one in? For some, it's a way of glossing over what he's done in the past.
Yeah,
It's a way of saying, oh yeah, so you caught me last time cheating, so this is my way of just making myself look good.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't know why someone is getting these gifts sometimes.
I then think of the proverb that says chakafukidza dzimba matenga.
Matenga.
All right, so you've heard it yourself, Valentine's, to do or not to do. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the chat box. We are in the final segment, and in the final segment we will be looking at, is Valentine's really important, or is it just being commercialized just to make a few dollars? I am again joined with Rugari, God's favorite, and full of energy and a high opinion, as well as Dr. Apostle Dr. Joe Daniels in the studio. Hi guys.
Good.
Hey.
Are we ready to wrap this up?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are, with a pretty little bow.
All right, so Apostle, I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
How can a critical lens be applied on the cultural and the commercial constructs surrounding Valentine's?
Okay, how can...
The cultural as well as the commercial. Like everything that people are building about the way they look at it culturally and then the way they look at it from a commercial point of view. How can we accept that there is Valentine's, it's here to stay, and how can each individual decide, okay, I'm going to do this or not?
All right, like I said, two people set the tempo of how they want their life to be like.
Okay.
Valentine's is one of them. There's no one way to express love. And that depends from one relationship to the other. However, we need to be very careful when it comes to our expenditure, because like I said, Kuti, we're not going to blow our money rent in the quest of trying to make someone happy, which is temporal. Then after that, you're sad. Doesn't make sense. So, level
yes.
Okay. It's pressure. And you spoke of culture. Your love doesn't have always to have a reference.
Okay.
You can start your own thing. You can love your own way. You can enjoy your relationship in a different way. You see that? So I really believe, be free to express yourself in the best way that you can, and don't religiously love.
Yes.
Because zvakatonzi Valentine saka tikasatoitamba munomu mune chimoto hautori chigerimopisa no kana kuti nhasi unondibata une zvandokuita no. Allow each and every individual to love in their own way and interpret the love language of a person in the light of how they love.
Interesting enough that you should say love languages. Regarding, I'm going to come to you.
Yes.
With the dawn of love languages, you know, you can love a person by actions, you can love a person by what you say and how you treat them. What do you think Valentine's should actually be rather than what it is being sold?
Well, people sell it as a celebration of love, yes, right? but it focuses more on the material side of it. I like there's a trend that's been going around about you mentioned the 5 languages, the 5 gifts of love, right? And then it speaks of all of that. But there are other things, because this man who wrote the book, I think his name is Gary Chapman, this was his personal study. So you now take your own personal study of you and your partner. And Washita thought, okay, fine, so what does my partner like? And then you translate love according to what it means to the two of you. Because do you know, sending someone a song is a love language.
Oh, yes. My dedication.
Yes.
Still do the tender loving kiss.
And then I thought of you. Yeah. So don't limit yourself to what society is saying, because that's society. And I love what Apostle was talking about. It's genuine too. It's your relational autonomy. Look at that, and then you build your own language based off of that. Jisina Valentine's mukati.
Kana maida.
Sprinkle.
So there's a lot of pressure, social pressure, telling us, we need to do Valentine's. I am for Valentine's. Personally, hey, there is no Valentine, but I am for it. I love to love, to watch other people loving each other. So what do we do when expectations in a relationship start being shown? Let's say from Valentine's, and then you've seen, I'm the same pay grade as Samantha. I'm the same pay grade as Joe. But my husband is a better job than. What do we do about those expectations? It's something we can't run away from, people and their expectations. What do we do? What advice, Apostle, can you give for those? And then Rugari, just tell me what advice you can give to an individual about the expectation of a man.
Men's side?
Men,
okay.
And women. I think let's balance it out.
You can't go beyond your capacity.
Okay.
That's one thing for sure. And topa nambotaroti vanhu vachiita problem unotora zvikwereti in the name of trying to meet up a certain standard that's beyond. Love according to your capacity.
Yes.
I always tell people, Kim kana rugara akatengerwa fancy car like it came about. That's the capacity of the man to show love. And however, I also need to address the fact that most ladies are the ones expecting a Valentine's gift.
Because men get every leap year.
Yeah.
Which I feel is unfair.
Every 3 to 4 years.
However, my perception about it from a biblical perspective is men are the ones that are commanded to love their women. And love gives. For God so loved that he gave. So mostly the woman must expect.
So when women expect, because in the Bible, the Bible says a man is a provider. So what is the role of a woman?
To appreciate.
To appreciate.
Yeah, appreciate what your man does. And that's what's lacking with most women. They are not satisfied with the contribution of the men, because my expectations are higher than capacity. And maybe I should also comment on what you said. You are for Valentine. It's the emphasis and the reflection. You can choose one day to really reflect your walk with your person and celebrate that. There's nothing bad with it, but don't look at it religiously.
Don't look at it religiously. And Rugari, what would your closing statements be?
Comparison is the thief of joy. Be happy with what you have, right? Because if you're comparing with, but Samantha's one chagati, and I didn't get this, you've already stolen from your joy, because your partner is giving you in the small ways that they can. And also you need to learn to manage your expectations. And also communicating the expectations, because sometimes you might think, no, I want this, they must know. I hinted. Women, we've got a problem. We don't say what we want, we hint what we want. We throw subliminals. So men are not mind readers. Tell him what you're expecting. And if he can't.
Subliminals, don't they come from the fact that when you voice your opinion as a woman,
well, it depends on the type of man that you're with.
Okay.
Besides,
right? Exactly. Because right? That's different from, oh my gosh, I love roses. It's very, and then you can just say, I absolutely love chocolate. You plant the seed. I would love it if you you got me some candy here and there, darling.
I don't know. But here we are with the question of Valentine's. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it valid? Is it not? Do people make money out of it? And do people get joy out of it? So many questions with a lot of opinion and a lot of laughs. This is what we do right here on the chat box. Every single week, we come back with a topic that touches the heart, touches the society, and hopefully changes a mind or two. Until next time, it's bye-bye for now.